Alright, how's it going? Today we're doing Grasp of Avarice Solo Flawless in Season of the Deep. We're going to be using its Striker Titan with Curious of the Falling Star, along with the Forbearance, Grenade Launcher, Riptide Fusion Rifle, and the Lament. We're going to be using Melee Wellmaker as well as a Lucent Blade mod to make the Lament as good as it can be. So yeah, let's get into this dungeon. This dungeon centers around exotic engrams that drop from enemies when you kill them. Collecting one will put you on a 30-second timer to your death, and collecting another one will reset that timer. What you have to do is get these engrams and deposit them by standing next to a crystal. Each crystal requires a different amount of engrams to be made completely full. This first one requires 50, so we're just going to grab them up. Also, when you collect 10 or a multiple of 10 engrams, you get all of your abilities back, including a super. So we're just going to be collecting up all these engrams now. There we go, that should be enough. You should also mention that when you're standing next to a crystal, your timer pauses, so you can't die while depositing. Anyway, once we've deposited 50, now we can move on to the next bit. We're going to start off by going over the section with a nice quick Thunder Crash, so we can avoid this Shrieker. Gonna run past these Thrall and jump into the next section, which is the trap section. All you have to do is follow exactly what I do and you'll be fine. So, to start off with, we're going to go to the second door here. Going to jump over a pressure plate and activate this switch. That'll open up this pipe here. We then want to stand on this falling platform and then mantle up into this little bit and activate this switch. And go back. And take the furthest right pipe into the next bit. We want to go on the right of this platform here, and just continue on to the next bit. Activate this switch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to skip a fair amount of this section by doing a little bit of sword firing. It's not too difficult, all you need is catapult jump. And what you have to do is you have to double tap, jump, and then swipe your sword, and you can do that for quite a long time. So we activate this switch, that'll spawn a Shrieker. What you're going to want to do is throw a grenade at it, or you can use your fusion rifle, because fusion rifles can hit through that fence there. Now we're going to do a little bit of sword firing to get back. And activate this switch. This will open up the door on the far side. Gonna sword fly over there. And we're gonna go through this door and we're on to the next section. This will introduce the Scorch cannon mechanic. All you have to do is shoot a certain thing, either 3 times, or hold down the Scorch cannon until you hear it overcharge 3 times. Well, overcharge twice. Get to power level 3 by holding it down. So we're just activating some switches, just going to be running around. You can take out the wizards if you find them to be annoying, but you don't have to. Now this will open up the area with the Scorch Vandal. You have to kill him, pick up the Scorch Cannon. You have 10 shots. And we're going to shoot this little bit of fallen machinery there. Going to wait for it to charge. And I missed. There we go, I hit it this time, so now we're just going to hide over here. And there we go. That's opened up the door for us. Now we want to hide to the left here to avoid this barrel. And we're going to move on to the first boss encounter, Prizia the Insatiable. Now we're going to rally here. We're going to be a bit careful when we jump over this ledge. Oh, sorry, this gap. And then we're going to start by running around to the left and going to the back to get the Scorch Cannon. You can pick the Scorch Cannon up from underneath if you want. And we're going to shoot this thing here. I thought I missed, so instead I just went for the 3 shots. We're now going to kill all these hive. I'm going to use a super here because we get it back very quickly. We're going to collect all the engrams here. There are 14 in total you can collect. You need 25 for the crystal, and there are 2 rooms of hive to kill. So it doesn't matter too much if you miss 1 or 2, but you want to get as many as possible. So once we've done that, we're going to hit the thing on the other side. I think I missed that one. Now I got it. Sometimes it's hard to tell. And we're just going to do the same thing again. Probably should have mentioned beforehand that you want to keep picking up the Scorch Cannon in the previous little area, because Scorch Cannon does have a despawn timer, and picking it up resets that. So now once we've done that, we're just gonna go to the crystal, put a barricade up, try to get amplified as well as get some orbs of power. Once that happens, we've got to wait for the damage phase to start. There we go. And we're going to start with the grenade and the thunder crash. That will give us a shield, as well as the immense healing, which will allow us to survive pretty safely. The mount can be fairly inconsistent at times. If you see yourself pushing Prizia with a heavy attack, he's not actually being pushed, it's just a desync error, which means he'll appear to teleport back to where he was previously, so just be careful of that. So now, we're basically just going to do the same thing again. This time we don't have a thunder crash to start off with, but that's not too much of a worry. The Scorch Vandals can be finished from 50% for whatever reason, so you can use that to your advantage. My melee button's a bit broken, so I didn't mean to actually place a barricade there. I'm picking up the Scorch cannon again, just so it doesn't despawn. Now I'm going to collect all the engrams and open up the next door. Now we're going to Thunder Crash in the middle once things have grouped up a bit more, so I can kill as much as possible. Tried to melee there, but it didn't work. So now we're just going to go back to the crystal. I don't have my barricade this time, but it doesn't matter too much because you can hide behind the crystal quite safely. Just making sure I'm amplified and have ample armor charge. And do the same thing, throw a grenade, go for the Thunder Crash, and then for the Lament. To do the combination that I use with the Lament, you definitely need the Lucent Blades armor mod. To do that, yep, this combination that I use is the highest DPS that you can do with the Lament. Nope, surprised you wanted to say hi. I rarely see him do that, but you do have to watch out for it on the final phase. Just gonna shoot the other door, and then run around and get it open. If you're finding the timing too tight, you can deposit all the engrams you have before going into the next room. And if you're struggling with speed, you probably should do that. Just remember to count how many you've deposited and how many you're picking up. And now for the final damage phase. And there we go. He's dead. Now we can move on. So we're just gonna go down here. We're gonna hit the button on the left of these two, and they'll start the Sparrow section. For the Sparrow section, all you need to do is go fast and make sure to hit some buttons while you're going. You will be faced with some mines you have to defuse by standing underneath them for a short time, and the timer of these mines can be extended by 5 seconds if you go next to one of these buttons, like this one. If you follow the route I'm taking, you'll be golden. Now we've got the man cannon. We're going to hold back on our left stick, but then forward as we land, so we land straight. We're going to boost into there, and we're done. Now we have the crystals. All we got to do is find our way out of here. It's a little bit confusing sometimes when you drop, but I find taking out my sword to put me in third person helps out quite a bit. So now onto the Fallen Shield encounter. All you gotta do is look around the map, find 4 servitors, kill them, and roll their dead bodies into a man cannon, shoot them into the center, and you'll be able to proceed. So to start off with, we're going to grab the Scorch cannon and then look for the servitor, if we can see it. I just saw his white shield on the left, so I'm going to go over there. There you can see him in my crosshairs now. So now we've got to kill 20 enemies, excluding Shanks, because Shanks don't drop engrams. Once we get all the 20 engrams, we're then going to proceed to deposit them in the crystal in the center. Now we've got 20, we're going to just deposit them in the crystal. You can hide behind it, or you can put a rally barricade, but to be fair, not much can hurt you that much. So we're going to take out the servitor with 3 fusion rifle shots, and roll his body into the man cannon there. Fortunately, the servitor's bodies are fairly heavily magnetized to the middles of the platform, so you can just sort of push them, and if they roll, they're more likely than not going to stay in position. Now I almost die here because I accidentally picked up an engram, but if that happens to you, all you have to do is just deposit it, and you're done. So now we're looking for the next one. I see him over there, so we're going to go over there and say hi to him. If you don't pick up the Scorch cannon, it won't have a despawn timer, but once you do pick it up and drop it, it will start to have one. So what I do is I just kill the Scorch Vandal, leave the cannon on the floor, while I do the rest of this. So now we're going to do the same thing, we're just going to roll his body over here. I'm picking up a lot of engrams, so I'm just going to deposit them, let it roll, and as you can see it goes straight into where I want it to be. So now we found the next one. Now for this one, since I already used the cannon and rotated it, you're going to have to remember to realign it. So I'm just going to do that now. And that's number 3 done. Now we're going to look for the last one. There he is, on the far left. And we're just gonna take out all the enemies here. And we're going to deposit the engrams. And take the guys out. We're going to deposit the rest of the engrams. And we're just going to push it over towards the main cannon. Now I fired twice here, one to shoot the servitor through, and press and held one more to fire me through as well. Just a nice little time save. So now, though we've come into the Great Sphere, we are going to face Captain Avarog. This boss is fairly similar to Prisia, except instead of killing enemies, you have to get engrams to drop from containers around the map using the Scorch cannon. So to start off with, we're going to ready ourselves. We're going to stay in the middle, and we're going to ambush his Avaroc's 2 associates here. Gonna try to kill him as much as possible. We've got a Marauder and a Shank. The Marauder has 10 engrams, the Shank does not. And also the Shank can be finished, which is very nice. So we're just going to take them out. The crystal here needs 60 in total. So we just deposited 10, which means we need 50 more. We're going to get the Scorch cannon from this Vandal here. Almost die. Going to finish her off on him. And now we're going to go onto this platform here. We're going to be spending a lot of time here because we can see 2 of the 3 Scorch cannon things from this position. The thing is, you can't hit the same one twice in a row, so we're just going to be alternating between these 2 and running around collecting engrams, which leads to a very fast completion of the phase. Now you can melee with the Scorch Cannon equipped, and it will just do your regular melee. But what you want to do is you want to get some armor charge up, but leave at least 1 enemy alive for you to become amplified from. It's very easy to become amplified with a Titan, because all you have to do is punch him twice thanks to the knockout aspect. It will make it amplified when you get a powered melee kill, and that includes a knockout melee. What we're doing now is we're depositing almost all of the crystal engrams at the crystal, and then when it comes down to 5 we want to go get amplified, and that will allow us to keep amplified for the damage phase. Now the damage phase is starting, we're going to start with a grenade, and then a Thunder Crash, and then just go out with the Lament. Oddly enough, we're going to be able to get a 3-phase with this as well, which is very nice. And once you're done with that, you've got to run away. To take out Avaroc's crew, again, it's going to be a little bit different, because we don't have a Thunder Crash to start off with, so what we're going to do is we're going to get 10 engrams to get our Thunder Crash, and then go and kill them. We also want to be amplified, because with the Thunderous Retort artifact mod, you can one-shot the Shank with a Thunder Crash, which is a very, very good thing. Now what I should have done here is banked my engrams, but I completely forgot that I was meant to do that. Make sure not to forget that yourself. As you see, my screen turned red, then I panicked because I forgot. Thankfully the timer does pause, I had 2 seconds left, but managed to survive it. So we're going to grab 10 more engrams, and then get amplified. And this will allow us to take out the Marauder very quickly. First we have to find him. There he is to the right. We're gonna Thunder Crash him there, and finish him off with a bit of fusion, grab his engrams and deposit them. You want to make sure to be careful if Avrok is standing on the engrams, because he can push them around with his stomp. So just remember that. And now we need 30 more engrams, so we're just going to get those. I missed that one, but it doesn't matter too much. Now I should have gotten a melee kill there for some armor charge, but I didn't. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to wait till we have about 5 engrams left, then run away. Then get a melee kill, get some armor charge, and amplified. Usually you should want more than 1 stack of armor charge when you're starting up the damage phase. However, I didn't, so I miss out on having the Lament boost. It's not actually necessary, as you'll be able to see soon enough. So now I'm just grabbing some heavy ammo and running away. Probably should have picked up the Scorch cannon, but I didn't. So now we're going to go back for it. And just do the same thing. Grab 10 engrams, Thunder Crash, and do that again. Now, since I want to get amplified, I need to find some enemies to kill with a melee. Like so. I'm going to go for the Thunder Crash on the Shank and kill it. Deposit the engrams, and do that again. So now I got 10 more and we're amplified. Just gonna wait till the Marauder shows up. There he is. You can tell where he is a bit by his signature weapon. Well, it's not a signature, but he's the only one in this area that uses it, which is the slow firing arc shock rifle. And now we're just going to get the 30 more remaining that we need. However, this time I'm going to remember to keep my stacks of armor charge up. And now we're going to just wait. Gotta get amplified. Unfortunately I missed there. That doesn't matter too much, I can just do it with 2 punches. And let's do the final damage phase. And we're done. That was Grasp of Avarice, solo for Lost during Season of the Deep. Hope you all enjoyed, hope you found this helpful. If you did, like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye.